Hi, we are students from the University of Texas at Dallas who represent the nonprofit organization Brain Exercise Initiative, or BEI. All across the country, we work with residents' homes and strive to use simple math and reading exercises that help improve cognitive processes inside the brain. Momentarily, a couple of volunteers will be instructing you throughout the exercises. Have fun and good luck!
Hello, my name is Rishi Patel and I'm a sophomore at the University of Texas at Dallas. Today, we'll be going through a few math problems to help you improve your brain health. Now, I'll be giving you about 5 seconds in between each question, but the key is to try and answer them as quickly as you can so that you can fully engage your brain. Without further ado, let's get right to it. 4 plus 4. 3 plus 7. 5 plus 8. 2 plus 5. 1 plus 9. 5 plus 3. 4 plus 2. 6 plus 6. 7 plus 5. 9 plus 8. 6 minus 2. 7 minus 4. 5 minus 1. 9 minus 4. 2 minus 2. 8 minus 7. 4 minus 1. 9 minus 3. 7 minus 1. 8 minus 5. 8 divided by 2. 10 divided by 5. 3 divided by 1. 10 divided by 1. 12 divided by 2. 15 divided by 3. 8 divided by 4. 9 divided by 3. 16 divided by 8. 8 divided by 8. 3 times 8. 1 times 2. 4 times 6. 5 times 5. 7 times 2. 3 times 5. 6 times 2. 4 times 3. 5 times 7. 9 times 1. And that's it. Congratulations, you made it through all of the questions. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching this video through to the end, and I really hope that you continue to watch the other videos that the Brain Exercise Initiative puts out. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sanjana and I am a student at the University of Texas at Dallas. Today I will be asking you to read the following passage out loud. It is important that you try your best to actively read the words out loud to improve your brain health. Once upon a time, there was an honest shoemaker who was very poor. He worked as hard as he could, and still he could not earn enough to keep himself and his wife. At last, there came a day when he had nothing left but one piece of leather big enough to make one pair of shoes. He cut out the shoes, ready to stitch, and left them on the bench. Then he said his prayers and went to bed, trusting that he could finish the shoes the next day and sell them. Early the next morning, he rose and went to his workbench and discovered there a pair of shoes beautifully made. The leather was gone, and there was no sign of anyone having been there. The shoemaker and his wife did not know what to make of it. Then, the first customer who came was so pleased with the beautiful shoes that he bought them and paid so much that the shoemaker was able to buy leather enough for 2 pairs. Happily, he cut them out, and then, as it was late, he left the pieces on the bench ready to sew in the morning. But when morning came, 2 pairs of shoes lay on the bench, most beautifully made, and no sign of anyone who had been there. It was another puzzle. That day, a customer came and bought both pairs and paid so much for them that the shoemaker bought leather for 4 pairs with the money. Once more, he cut out the shoes and left them on the bench. As before, the next morning he discovered that all 4 pairs were made. It went on like this until the shoemaker and his wife were prosperous. They were concerned they could not be satisfied to have so much done for them and not know to whom they should be grateful. So one night, after the shoemaker had left the pieces of leather on the bench, he and his wife hid themselves behind a curtain and left a light in the room. Just as the clock struck 12, the door opened softly and 2 tiny elves came dancing into the room, hopped onto the bench, and began to put the pieces together. They were quiet, they made little conversation, and they had brought tiny scissors and hammers and thread. Tap, tap went the little hammers, stitch, stitch went the thread, and the little elves were hard at work. No one ever worked so fast as they. In almost no time, all the shoes were stitched and finished. Then the little creatures whisked away out of the window. The shoemaker and his wife looked at each other and said, "How can we thank the little elves who have made us happy and prosperous?" "I should like to make them some pretty clothes," said the wife. "I will make the shoes if you will make the coats," said her husband. That very day, they worked on this surprise for the elves. The wife cut out 2 tiny, tiny coats of green, 2 little pairs of trousers of white, 2 very small caps, bright red, and her husband made 2 little pairs of shoes with long pointed toes. They made the clothes as good looking as could be, with nice little stitches and pretty buttons. By Christmas time, they were finished. On Christmas Eve, the shoemaker cleaned his bench, and on it, instead of leather, he laid the 2 sets of clothes. Then he and his wife hid away as before to watch. Promptly at midnight, the little elves came in. They hopped upon the bench, but when they saw the little clothes there, they laughed and danced for joy. Each one caught up his little coat and things and began to put them on. They were so happy. Then, when the clock struck 2, they left smiling. They never came back anymore, but from that day, they gave the shoemaker and his wife good luck so that they never needed any more help. The end. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and congrats on finishing. Don't forget to keep watching these brain exercise videos.
Hi, my name is Prashant Gowda, and I'm a student at the University of Texas at Dallas.
Today, we'll be going over some math problems in order to help improve your brain health. You'll have 5 seconds to answer each problem as they appear on the screen. It is very important that you try your best to answer every question as fast as possible in order to engage your brain. Today, we'll be starting off with some addition, so without further ado, let's begin. 1 plus 2. 3 plus 5. 2 plus 7. 4 plus 6. 5 plus 8. 9 plus 9. 4 plus 1. 3 plus 8. 7 plus 10. 9 plus 4. You're doing a great job. Now we're going to move on to some subtraction. 5 minus 1. 9 minus 4. 6 minus 3. 8 minus 2. 7 minus 5. 11 minus 2. 10 minus 5. 7 minus 3. 2 minus 1. 8 minus 6. 'Look at that, you're halfway done. We're going to switch things up and switch to multiplication next. Keep up the good work, and let's get back into it. 5 times 0. 8 times 1. 2 times 4. 3 times 3. 5 times 6. 9 times 4. 6 times 2. 2 times 5. 7 times 8. 3 times 4. 'Almost done. You're doing amazing. We're going to end today with some division. 0 divided by 4. 5 divided by 1. 9 divided by 3. 8 divided by 2. 6 divided by 6. Twelve divided by 4. 14 divided by 7. 10 divided by 2. 16 divided by 4. 4 divided by 2. You did it. You worked hard and you completed all 40 problems. It is important to do these exercises every day in order to keep improving your brain health. Thank you very much for your time and have a great rest of the day.
Hello everyone, my name is Dana and I am a junior at the University of Texas at Dallas. I major in healthcare studies and I'm also a volunteer with Brain Exercise Initiative. Today I wanted to read with you a fascinating article about the wonders of swimming and how it's so good for you. I also strongly encourage you to read along so it can strengthen your brain power. And without further ado, let's begin. This was written by Markham Heed and is titled Why Swimming is So Good for You. Every type of exercise has its selling points, but swimming is unlike any other aerobic workout in a few important ways. First, the fact that you're submerged in water means your bones and muscles are somewhat unshackled from the constraints of gravity, says Hirofumi Tanaka, a professor of kinesiology and director of cardiovascular aging research lab at the University of Texas. This makes swimming the ideal exercise for people with osteoarthritis, for whom weight-bearing exercise can be excruciatingly painful. According to Tanaka's research of people with the condition, swimming decreases arterial stiffness, a risk factor for heart trouble. More of his research has linked swim training with lower blood pressure among people with hypertension. The coolness and buoyancy of water are also appealing to people who are overweight or obese, for whom load-bearing aerobic exercises, like running, may be too hot or uncomfortable, Tanaka says. But don't be fooled. Your body is working hard when you're in the pool. Water is denser than air, so moving through H2O puts more external pressure on your limbs than out-of-water training, studies have shown. Even better, that pressure is uniformly distributed. It doesn't collect in your knees, hips, or other places that bear most of the burden when you exercise with gravity sitting on your shoulders. How you breathe during a swimming workout is another big differentiator, says David Tanner, a research associate at Indiana University and co-editor of Educational Handbook on the Science of Swimming. During a run or bike ride, your breath tends to be shallow and your exhales forceful. It's the other way around with swimming, says Tanner. You breathe in quickly and deeply, and then let the air trickle out. Because your head is underwater when you swim, these breathing adjustments are vital, and they may improve the strength of your respiratory muscles, Tanner says. This kind of breathing keeps the lung alveoli, the millions of little balloon-like structures that inflate and deflate as you breathe, from collapsing and sticking together. Plus, who wouldn't want a swimmer's body? Swimming fires up more of your body's major muscle groups than other forms of cardio exercise. If you think about running or biking, you're mostly using your lower body, Tanner says. Swimming not only engages your legs, but also recruits your upper body and core, especially your lats, the muscles of your middle back, and triceps, the backs of your upper arms. You look at pictures of swimmers, and you see how the upper body development is really tremendous, he says. Finally, your back benefits. Working out in a horizontal pose, as opposed to the upright position your body assumes during other forms of aerobic exercise, may be an ideal way to counteract all the time you spend hunched over a desk or steering wheel. There's no hard impact on your back like there is with running, and instead of being bent forward like you would be on a bike, your back tends to be arched slightly in the opposite direction, Tanner says. That may help improve your posture and prevent the back injuries and pain that stem from long stretches of sedentary time. The exercise is also linked to many of the same life-extending, heart-saving, mood-lifting benefits associated with other forms of aerobic exercise. And it's fun, which matters. People tend to enjoy swimming more than running or bike riding, Tanaka says. While about half of people who try a new exercise program give up within a few months, people who take up swimming are more likely to stick with it, he says. If you're sold on swimming, Tanner recommends starting slowly. Don't try to do too much too early and focus on proper technique, he says. Consider enlisting the help of an instructor if you don't have any formal coaching as a kid. If you're not used to swimming, it can be hard to relax in the water. He says, being nervous and tight may limit the sport's benefits. Start off with 30-minute sessions 3 times a week and don't forget to take frequent breaks. You want to ease into it and build up, he says, just like a running program. Thank you so much for following along, and I'm so proud of you for reading this article with me. Bye!